Hello, and welcome to Gamer Premonitions Next-Gen Consoles. Today we've gathered our four sightseers to look into the future and see what lies ahead for these next-gen consoles. The next PlayStation after PS4, the next Xbox after Xbox One. We have with us, of course, KZ Excellent from kzexcellent.com. How are you doing?
The PS5 will be the new water cooler.
The Mr. Feel from the Mr. Feel's Wild Ride.
I'm sure motion controls will be involved in this somehow.
And Bob from GigaBoots.
I can sightsee the future.
And I'm your host, of course, Dan Video Games. So, we've got quite a lot to talk about. We've got 3 premonitions for the PS5. We have 3 premonitions for the Xbox 2. We've got a lightning round full of questions about the price, how many models there are, the hard drive size, and launch titles. And then we have a secret final premonition that no one has been prepared for.
I hate this.
But that's enough explaining the show. We need to ask Mr. Feel, what is next gen?
Oh, fuck, no. I forgot to prepare this. Next gen.
Crucial part.
Oh, look, I've been busy this week. I was killing a bumblebee. Next gen is a meta concept within the gaming industry to refer to the next generation of gaming consoles that will cost a significant amount of money and in most cases not be worth it, except for this time where it actually probably will be. So Dan, are you excited for next gen?
Mr. Feel, I am always excited for next gen. Next gen is my Christmas.
Do you think it will be justified this time?
I am an idiot and thought it was justified every time.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I'm one of those early adopters.
Oh, no.
Perfect
You were
Dark.
excited for the PS3, no.
Feel this should have been obvious.
No.
You've known him long enough.
Perfect Dark was a great launch title, wasn't it, Bob? For the 360.
Yeah, that was great.
You know it's a great launch title when the people who made it literally have PTSD from the experience.
Raw.
And they literally talk about it openly on Twitter.
I have PTSD hearing you be like, I bought every console at launch. I stayed places for 12 hours for it. And I'm just like, oh.
One, I was in a line for 27 hours for the PS3. But it was indoors.
Oh my god.
And I had a folding chair. I'm not going to stand in a place for a fucking day. That's stupid.
I fucking knew it. You're like, I'm setting up camp. I'm getting it.
Yeah, no, of course I'm getting that PS3 at launch. Bob was there with me. Bob, how was that experience?
That was not great, but it was worth it.
No, it wasn't.
The only day
Yes,
I've ever had an energy drink, except for that time on the DMC stream.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the last time you had an energy drink before we hit that stream goal during the Devil May Cry 5 stream. I forgot about that.
Out of every person I've ever known, Dan is the most likely person to, if someone's going to get shot during a console launch, it's going to be Dan.
Okay, at least I'm not accused of shooting someone.
Shout out to that one image somebody made when the PS3 launched more than a decade ago of the Dead Rising cover, but it says PS3 launch.
That was actually pretty accurate. The place we were holed up for this, we waited, I think it was almost the full 24 hours, Bob. It was about 22 hours before they told the 10 people in line, hey, we're only getting 6 PS3s. Bob and I were slots 5 and 6. The 4 people ahead of us were teenagers put in line by a guy with a lot of money who was going to scalp them.
You were the chosen ones.
And the person right behind us in line, number 7, is a dad who was getting it for his son, that when he heard the 4 pieces of shit at the front of the line who barely spent any time in line were going to get them, and he wasn't, he looked like he was ready to commit murder.
Wait, how were they? How would they barely spend any time in line but were ahead?
So we put down these chairs, right? Well, you know, we're civilized people. We're going to let people get up and go get food. Like, of course. They did that for hours. It was man, that guy looked like he literally could have beaten them to death with their folding chair.
I'm gonna say this right now. Anybody who scalps consoles, the blade. They should be put to the sword.
Why is it every Thursday when we go to record a podcast, Feel threatens to murder someone in some way?
Now, Mr.
I'm not
Feel,
saying I would murder them. I'm saying in a just world, they would be put to the sword.
Mr. Feel, you need to realize if people didn't scout PS3s at launch, Elon Musk wouldn't have had a PS3 at launch. This isn't fictional. This is a real story.
Of course.
I think Elon
bet
Musk
he played Mag.
would have been able to get something.
No, he just bought it off some guy at launch, a scalper. He paid $1,000.
Yeah, because it's nothing.
Yeah, no, this is a real story. None of that's fictional. Anyways, we need to get to these premonitions.
Okay.
So we're going to start on the PS5. Mr. Feel, you get to start us off on premonitions. What can you tell me about the PS5?
Okay, I'll start with a reasonable one. PS Now will be folded into PS Plus and will function as Game Pass because this console will have complete backwards compatibility. They can just be like, okay, all the games that were on PS Now from previous gens are now, you can just play them on the PS5.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Try to sell one service instead of two.
Because Game Pass is one of the areas where Sony is behind Microsoft, and if they're crushing their throat on backwards compatibility, there's no reason to think Sony won't also crush their throat on the Game Pass front.
Yeah, that could be the case, but Sony may also just want another way to dip on money.
I mean, they just dropped the price of PS Now recently too, so it's...
Oh yeah, what'd they drop it to, Bob?
I want to say 30 for
a year?
I don't know.
Okay, unsure.
It's 60 for a year, I think, but I could see them folding it in where it's like there's a second tier of PS Plus that has PS Now for less than they would be individually.
Yeah, they do that with Xbox Pass right now, with Ultimate Game Pass.
Yeah, they have Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, they'll have like a version of Ultimate Game Pass. And maybe PS Now will just be down, even like if you don't have PS Plus, you can still get PS Now and download these titles.
Possible.
If you're fucking weird.
I had a look at the PlayStation Now prices.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, yearly, it was $100. Now it's
Yes. Yes.
For streaming, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, but nowadays...
you can download PS4 games.
Nowadays, you can download PS4 games onto your PS4. A smart decision, seeing as how that's how Game Pass works, and it's doing better than PlayStation Now, because Sony doesn't market these things. That's a pretty good premonition, Mr. Feel. I am going to swing the other way. Mr. Feel went with something he thought was pretty safe. I'm going to go with something I think is going to be amazing and has not been announced. The PS5 is going to have a feature where every time you go to turn off a game, it'll store in a highly compressed video the last 30 minutes of you playing it. And now from the OS, you can view the last 30 minutes you played to help you remember where you were in the game and what was happening. This will do gangbusters for people with shit memory. When you put down a game and you come back to it a year later and you go, okay, what the hell's going on? How do I even play this? You can now just review the last 30 minutes of you playing and go, that's so helpful. This is like when Pokemon added that feature.
Oh man, what if they even go crazier and like it's like the iPhone where it is a highlight reel of your photos, only with gameplay footage. Like, oh yeah, remember this moment?
So what happens, Bob, is they use the machine learning to review your clip and then make that highlight reel. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
This does feel like the kind of stupid fucking thing that would be in a console reveal.
I mean, honestly,
like, look at this new feature.
I hear a lot of people ask for this feature. A lot. I'm sure the comments section will reflect that. I constantly hear about, I'm an adult now. I haven't played this game in a month. What am I doing? I think this is going to solve that problem.
Makes sense. I mean, consoles now, like PS4, can just save a certain amount of gameplay anyway. So I wouldn't be shocked if they just add a feature that remembers 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it? Like 10 minutes?
Yes.
When you're playing and you want to hit the clip button?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
It's something in that range.
It's 10 minutes on the PS4, but something worth noting is the PS5 is going to support a more compressed codec, H.265, aka HEVC. So it would be easier to
I
compress
thought
it.
I thought you were gonna say XVID or DivX.
Yes, those are the cutting edge codecs in 2019, Casey.
You see, they're partnering with Real Player.
Oh shit! Partnership of the century.
What was that fucking horrible was it QuickTime?
It's for like .movs.
Yeah, it was QuickTime, the QuickTime video player.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Apple.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Yeah, that's unfortunately still a thing.
They'll fold it into the PS5. You can also play episodes of Sonic X you downloaded off LimeWire on dial-up in 1999.
What a killer app.
That's the PS3 though.
I got at least 4 episodes of Naruto Shippuden subbed that way.
So Bob,
What's up?
you get to bring us our next premonition on the PS3 5. PS3.
PS3. Okay, this one, I'm a coward if I don't bring this.
Okay.
I had a literal dream. I saw what the PS5 looked like in my dream.
Oh my god.
You're the Martin Luther King of this podcast.
So it's going to look a lot like the PS2.
Okay.
But it's going to have a really cool logo on the side. Still the same iconic shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have memory card slots in PS2 controller ports.
Holy shit. Could you imagine? I can't wait to get to the price segment of this show. Well, thank you for the bold premonition, Bob. I guess we'll move on to KZ. KZ, what is your first premonition for Gamer Premonitions Next Gen?
Why did I have to follow up? I guess I'll go in a similar vein to him in terms of like the look of the console. Now, we've seen the dev kit. It's been going around.
V.
And it looks real stupid. The PS5 will look similar to it in that it will be doing it will in fact be doing the V, but instead it's going to be basically, if you look at it now, it's a box with a V cut into it.
It looks like a fucking apartment building.
Yeah. Well, the real PS5 will be a V standing up vertically.
So let me get this straight. Does it look like the original Xbox One model,
Yes.
but a V?
You mean the Xbox
Yes.
original?
No, sorry, the Xbox original.
Okay.
Yeah, not the one.
Is it made of steel?
They'll also be capitalizing on people liking variety and the fact that different colors, but not colors for the main thing. It'll still be like black, but inside the V will be cool like LED strip. So when you turn it on, it'll turn red or turn blue, turn purple.
So what you're saying is that the PS5 will be designed by Razer.
Yeah, we're going after that high-end PC gamer market.
I feel like
Correct.
if they're just
They're
different
for the
color
gamers.
LEDs, then it should have a customization option instead of different models. But maybe that's just me.
That would be from a company that likes you. But as you know, Sony does not like anyone.
I believe Sony loves us, and I think Bob is onto something. Instead of my controller glowing a stupid color, my console will glow a stupid color.
Make it intensely bright. Shine it at the screen.
Even if it's off,
Yes.
even if the console's off, the LEDs will still be on. You'll have to put a fucking towel over it when it's off to sleep.
And then you forget you put the tower on it, and you turn it on, and it overheats and dies.
Well, that's how
Oh
you
yeah, when
revive
it's
it
off,
too.
it's white.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay, so now we're on to round 2 of Gamer Premonitions for the PS5 Next Gen. I'm going to go ahead and say something I think this is exactly how it's going to be unveiled on stage. The PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility will be one of the very first things to crawl out of their mouths about this console, and they will highlight the ability to buy upgraded graphics for these retro games as DLC. They're going to talk about you can enjoy it in its original fidelity, or you can buy this reasonably priced thing that allows you to upgrade the fidelity so it looks better. They will then use this to frame the PS5 as the PlayStation platform where you enjoy the entire legacy of PlayStation games, and they will smash cut to a sizzle reel that will make Sony fanboys cry.
that feels so likely because somebody said it, I forget who, might have been even Dan. He says like publishers fucking hate backwards compatibility because they don't get to make any money off it.
Yeah. So this is a way where they
this
can
would
be like,
now you can make money off it.
exactly. Like, hey, you can make money off of this, and until you want to take that opportunity, they can play it. So, back the fuck off.
God, and the greatest fucking hits thing of that's going to exist, and it's going to be like the spear of Longinus being shoved through Microsoft.
It's going to be hard to compete with that. There is nothing that I think they can intrinsically build into an Xbox 2 that's going to be as powerful as all of Sony's legacy coming together through backwards compatibility. That's
surprise. Powerful. Games win, and Microsoft doesn't have any.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about the launch titles later, so please stick around.
I'm thinking about really dumb bits of just all the Avengers assemble, and it's just PlayStation 1 and 2 games.
That's awful.
I know, it's horrible.
What's up, Bob?
So, and then the Xbox is Jared Leto Joker.
Oh, no.
Remember Dan, Jared Leto Joker come to PUBG.
Would you say that they'll also talk about having just straight up put your disc in? Like, put a PS2 disc in?
Yes, because the whole point of this segment, Bob, is that they're trying to have here's how you lend a friend a game on PS4, but for this, cranked to 11.
Right, okay. Yeah, that'd be amazingly hype.
That ordeal probably is an enormous part of why they won this gen. This would be even more powerful.
It's going to start with the skip, Bob, except for instead of it being a last-minute put-together thing, like a hodgepodge, like Shuhei's going to stand in front of a white light and they're going to hand each other a game.
Right.
This is going to be a very produced thing where a dude's going to be like, hey, remember this game? And he's going to get all nostalgic because Sony loves doing ads like that. They love doing ads where it's like, man, I love PlayStation. PlayStation is where it at. So they get two people talking like that. And then one of them's like, yeah, we can play it right now. And he's like, what? And then they stick Crash Bandicoot. They stick whatever retro game. They stick like Jak and Daxter in the PS5. And it plays it. And then he hits the button to engage the next gen graphic.
Oh, no.
That's so good.
Once again, guys, I'm covered in goosebumps right now. And I got to tell you, I'm terrified of being consumed by the Sony fanboy darkness in Kingdom Hearts style. After they unveil the PS5, I might be in a Riku style muscle suit.
Oh, no. Okay,
Sony logo.
I have a request to the audience. Dan Video Games drawn in a Riku Ansem bodysuit, but in the center it's the old PlayStation look.
I'm still wearing a denim jacket.
And yes, he has to have the skirt.
Okay.
It's really paying off.
Okay, Bob.
I won't lose. My console's too strong.
My console's too strong. Bob, you have the floor for the second premonition for the PS5.
Okay, I want to keep things high. So I'm going to say XMB 2.0.
We're going to the cross-media bar?
That's right.
Oh,
sequel to the cross-media bar.
Oh,
what's XMB?
That's how they abbreviate it. The cross in the PlayStation controller is the X in XMB, cross media bar. So you thought I would bring some shit you hadn't heard of. You people were not prepared.
How does he not know what that was?
That's the PS3 OS.
Yeah.
It's designed by Q Games and looks beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
That OS actually was made by Q Games.
I didn't know it had
and
a name.
Functional and fantastic.
Of course it does, like Xbox with the Blades or the new Xbox Experience.
Yeah, those have names too. They just suck.
I don't feel Blades is the name.
Honestly.
The new Xbox Experience is something that's constantly in shift, so we can't say it's the name for anything.
Yeah, no, it's like when they stopped naming iPads and it started becoming the new iPad for a few years, and then Nintendo's like, we're going to do that too, and then Apple's like, now it's gross. We're going to stop.
The new Xbox Experience is just the golden corral of dashboard.
They keep doing it, and it's never better, so...
Bob,
what's up? Do you want me to explain what's in XMP2?
You know, yes. What is different between?
Absolutely.
Tell me what's different between the Cross Media Bar 2 and the Cross Media Bar 1.
Many more sorting options, way cooler looking backgrounds.
Oh wow.
You can even rearrange every icon.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you get to just fully customize this thing. It's going to be great.
So I need to ask you, you know, originally, for those who don't know, the Cross Media Bar divided things into like music, videos, pictures, and that would be horizontal icons. And then you get games, network, and other stuff. Bob, does this put all of those things that aren't video games under media? And then it puts all of the consoles separate. So PS2, PS1, PS3.
Oh man, that is really good. You know, they could do that. I feel like it has options though. Like it needs to be super customizable for people who don't want to deal with that. Like, oh, I don't want any media on this. I don't even want that tab on my screen.
I hate PS3.
I don't want a PS3 on my screen. It's going to be a PS1, PS2, PS5.
Reasonable. Reasonable. Well, Bob, that's a pretty strong premonition. I look forward to Cross Media Bar 2. And I'm saying this without even the slightest irony. I know it sounds like I'm being ironic, but I'm looking forward to it. KZ, what is your second premonition about the PS5?
All right. Something that I feel like they dropped the ball on when it comes to the PS3 and the PS4 is making the startup and playing games, the presentation of that distinct and nice. So I feel like when you power this on, it'll have its own unique logo animation and music that will play to let you know you've jumped into the PS5. And you'll also get your own special little animation and music that will play when you launch any game.
I'm sorry, KZ, you can't say jumped in. That's a Xbox.
You can't say jumped in. It's Xbox.
They
Jesus
own
Christ.
that.
They're gonna sue.
I'm sorry.
But they will do that when you launch a game, when you launch the console itself, to give you that feeling that you got whenever you, whether it was launching the PS1 with those satisfying noises, or terror when you used the PS2 because sometimes it was scary.
Oh man, I really want
Especially
the PSP one back.
Oh yeah, no, the PSP.
You think
one's pretty
PSP
good.
games will be on
What
this?
was the PSP
I do.
one?
Oh,
It's piano notes. It plays a very specific chord, and it sounds really good.
But I think that they'll try and give it some presentation instead of this muted, just, it's on. Here's some ambient music. I feel like they're going to come out flexing about how hot shit they are, to the point where, yeah, this is PS5.
yeah,
We got our own specific sound.
Every time you boot up the PS5, it plays one of 50 different animations of the PS5 curb stomping the Xbox 2.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say the way the PlayStation logo appears for PS5 will be different, and there will be at least 4 dozen distinct variations of it, of just how they draw that logo, how it comes in, how it appears.
I'm just imagining like part of this reveal is like a Sony executive sitting in a chair, like from that one stereo commercial where it blows right in his face, but it's the PS1 startup.
But they need to capture that feeling you got from the old days of PlayStation.
So you're saying not only will it have a nice boot up thing, are you implying it might be different per console? Like, if I boot a PS2 game, does it make the
Yes,
PS2 sound?
absolutely.
Okay.
They will do their best to like recreate the old ones for that. So when you load up a PS3 game, it'll do that getting the orchestra prepared.
You know, the funny thing, and I expect no one listening to this to remember this, and me saying it will remind some people who had forgotten for a long time. Bob, you remember how the PS3 used to make a sound when you booted games, and somewhere around 2010 they removed that?
Yeah, I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, so they're going to bring that back, and people are going to be like, fuck, that was a thing. Shit!
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it mentioned.
Yeah,
I don't remember it.
It had a boot up sound, and then when you booted a game, it then made a completely different thing. But here's why they took it out. It was edgelordy as fuck. If I remember, it showed the PlayStation 3 logo, and it was just like, oh.
Nothing will ever beat the original Xbox goo thing.
Oh, you mean the... Yeah, that.
It was very cool.
It was very cool. Okay. Well, Phil, we're going to need your second premonition on the PS5. What can you tell me?
Well, going off Dan's, it's a similar thing. I think Sony knows that PS1 and PS2 games at this point, for most people, even if they still have them, are probably in pretty poor shape. So I think if you put in a PS1 and PS2 disc and it's readable, like it reaches the bare minimum of being readable, Sony will be like, hey, you want to download the digital version of that and run it while you have the disc in?
I feel like some games could do that, but since it's a licensing thing, I'm not sure that they would do that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 100%, but as many as they can get, they will have that feature. Because imagine being like, oh, my disc kind of, like you talk about all the time, I didn't get to see the intro of this PS1 game. The disc was too fucking scratched.
Yeah.
So you just put that game in. Oh, this is one of the titles where I can just download it. And that lets it also take advantage of the loading.
I think for first party titles, that's a given. Like they can absolutely just say, yeah, we'll have that on tap.
And that's the way the Xbox currently works.
Yeah, but the way the Xbox works isn't quite you can stick in any game you own. They have to license it. So I think legally speaking, this may be hard to incorporate. So in a way, Mr. Feel's premonition is actually quite bold and people need to respect him.
The theme of this episode is bravery.
Legal bravery.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go to round 3. Things are getting tight. Bob, you have been gloriously endowed with the ability of first go on third round premonitions. What can you tell me?
Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit of a downer. When the PS5 first launches...
Uh-oh.
The PlayStation Store is going to be a web browser again.
What? But we can't go back. We can't go back to the web browser.
I'm sorry. It's just this is how it happens.
You can't do that. You can't fucking... Here's your mouse cursor on screen. It's 2006 November again.
I was braced for the rotary phone being back, but I wasn't braced for that.
Don't worry, that's back too.
Oh my god. Jesus
You have
Christ,
to manually spin the rotary phone with the on-screen cursor.
Yes. The fuck?
Jesus Christ, Bob.
I'm sorry. It just had, look, it's got 100 extra PS1, PS2 games, plus all the ones they released on the PS3. But for that, they couldn't get this thing working in time. That's why it's a website.
Wow.
The bad part is it works better than when they replace it with an actual news store.
No. No.
The assets for the new store are 8K and the game just can't handle it.
Yeah, you don't want to try and boot the new store on PS4. That's just not something you want to do.
No. The PS4's just going to shit its pants and stop working the moment the PS5 comes out.
Yeah, because the new store will be on there.
That'll actually be the new firmware update.
You see, this is all good because when they launch the web browser, it'll also be on the PS3, and then suddenly the PS3 will be usable again.
No, this thing's going to run PS3 games. The PS3 will get a firmware update that just makes it short circuit. PS5's out.
Oh no!
KZ, I need a strong third round premonition. Bob's dark vision of the future, while cynical, was not ambitious. It's not ambitious enough, KZ. I need you to crank it up.
Oh,
what do you
I
got?
have ambition. My ambition is not about the console itself. It's next gen. So clearly, you go to these press conferences, you expect some bombs, right? You expect something of worth to occur, and Microsoft would do in their conferences try to go, yeah, we got Ninja Theory. We ended up picking them up. We got Obsidian. Sony's gonna go on stage and say we bought Sega.
I need to go lie down.
They're gonna finish any games that they already announced, but from then on, Sony is locking exclusivity of every Sega game from now on to their platform.
Sony, you're telling me.
They have
telling me.
Sonic, they have Persona, and that is obviously when that's when Samba the Amigo returns.
Sega's gonna come out on stage. They're gonna come out and say, I could play every PlayStation game, and then they're gonna go, we also have Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, fuck. They might as well ship this conference to me personally.
They might be able to find a home for Sonic to get made in.
Huh. I imagine Sony.
No, he'll still be bad.
Sony's got to have some studio. Sony Benz Sonic the Hedgehog.
Naughty Dog Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, at least
This
some
makes
of the
sense. They're like, Sony Bend, they made Bubsy 3D.
Exactly. They have a legacy of 3D platforms.
I'm just imagining Days Gone 2 and Deacon Days Gone has a Sonic decal on his bike.
Oh my god. This is a lot to deal with.
But yeah, there you go. There's your ambition.
Jesus Christ.
They're like, you think you can buy a studio?
Man, that would be a crazy set of years where Sega buys Atlas and then Sony buys Sega.
You know, the sad part is they don't have to because nobody buys those fucking games on Xbox anyway.
Yeah, that's
They don't even release half of them, if even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Theo, I'm going to need a third round premonition from you. What can you follow those two premonitions up with?
Okay, this one's also a downer.
God!
Sony will make an unfathomable and poorly planned push into China. It will involve re-implementing region lock on the console. People will be so mad it will be removed in a patch in a year. Because they've mentioned their new parental override thing, and they have implied that it can be activated remotely. And so people have been assuming...
Is this like a satellite laser?
They're going into China and the government will just have the ability to turn off a Chinese citizen's PS5. Like, you're not earning enough social credits. It goes off.
Wow. That is the darkest.
So my guess is that will be the big Sony faux pas this gen.
Man, we've had some pretty dark premonitions in round 3. We had the web browser store. We had the Sega buyout. And now China. I'm so glad I brought something incredible and positive. When Sony unveils the PlayStation 5, they will advertise their console as being the lowest input lag ever experienced, and they will in fact show a game running at 120 frames per second and explain, guys, that the PS5 will have better input lag than the original PS1, PS2, and PS3 for those same games, giving you the best possible experience all of Sony's history, all in this one device for the pro gamers.
That's strong.
That'll be a segment that hits no one but like a specific subset, but those people will be shitting their fucking
They
pants.
will win the entire fighting game community.
They will.
They basically own it most of the time anyway, which is great.
If cross-gen's a thing, cross-play's a thing, they'll win everybody.
I'm really looking forward to see what small project Sony greenlights to take advantage of 120 frames per second. I hope it's a Q Games game. If I call this shot, I'm going to ascend to godhood.
Yeah, we could use a good Q Games game. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I think we got, one game this gen?
We got Monsters too. I don't know if we got anything
that's
else.
true. We did, The Tomorrow Children.
Oh, I
It was
forgot.
a very atypical game for them. Tosh misses it. Anyways. And with that powerful premonition, I've concluded the PS5 section. And I ended it on an up note. Instead of the store's a website, China. I'm rather glad I got to do that.
Vector the Crocodile is a launch title for PS5.
I know this is a long episode of Gamer Premonitions, but I wanted to get out a spare premonition I had, and I invite anyone else who had a spare PS5 premonition to just shoot it out now.
Mm-hmm.
The PS5 OS will feature voice controls that almost work good enough for people to want to use it. Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
But almost. Okay, the PS5 will have liquid cooling. It will sound even louder than the PS4 Pro.
How in the hell?
It will sound like a fucking helicopter is in your house.
Swah, 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 swah.
They will take a PlayStation Elite controller.
Oh, finally.
That'll be the thing that has the pressure sensitive buttons and they try to throw at you for the
Fuck.
old games.
Shit.
It'll be $150.
There will be a critical malfunction with the DualShock 5, where a small percentage of users who own one will not be able to use it while it's charging.
There will be a critical problem with the DualShock 5 where it shoots out UMDs if you bend it too much.
Yeah, hold on, let me do it.
Okay, so that ends the PS5 segment, which means we're going into the lightning rounds, where we're going to talk about launch titles, hard drive size, the number of models, and price. So we're going to do launch titles. We're going to start with PS5. KZ, what are the 3 launch titles for the PS5, and are they cross-gen or not?
All right. So I have on here, some are, some aren't. Just going to open. So the first one is going to be it's going to be a full-scale remake of Ape Escape.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This will be launching on PS5
Yes.
and will be exclusive to it. It will
Okay.
not be cross-gen.
Good.
It will be a remake in the spirit of some of the recent retro revivals we've seen. So it's like entirely new assets from the ground up. Not too many major gameplay changes. Some quality of life stuff. Maybe a few extra things to collect and deal with that they originally maybe wanted to do in that first game, but didn't have the time to do, because I'm sure there's some cutting room floor type of stuff that still, they still have documentation on. But that'll be the first launch title, not cross-gen. An Ape Escape remake. And of course, because of that backwards compatibility, if you buy this, you will get the original version
Oh, that's
as
nice.
well. So for the purists, they'll be able to get that original experience. Number 2, PS5 exclusive, no cross-gen, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2.
Nice.
Ugh.
The
Nice.
appropriate reaction.
This time they will spend an absurd amount of money to get the good character roster you want.
Excellent.
Ugh.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to us live streaming playing it.
It's going to be a great time. You ready for some PlayStation All-Stars?
Yeah.
And then we're going to be like, yeah, it's our favorite. And the third launch title is very ambitious, but as you know, I had the harebrained idea of having Sega being bought. So the third launch title is Phantasy Star Online 3.
It's a launch title?
They've been working on this for years,
Yes.
Dan.
Jesus Christ.
So, 2 months after Phantasy Star Online 2 comes out for the Xbox One in the United States,
Yes.
they're just gonna have Phantasy Star. Okay,
Absolutely.
good to know.
Wait. He didn't say for the US. Maybe this is the launch in Japan only.
Oh, so we'll get it 15 years from now.
Yes.
Oh
No,
my
it will be
God.
it'll be worldwide launch. Turns out Sega is fucking Phil Spencer.
I
You're
see.
going to get this third thing. It will be incredibly underfeatured at launch.
Okay. Well, that's bold launch titles. Mr. Feel, what are your 3 launch titles for the PS5?
Okay, first, Uncharted 5. It will star Nathan Drake's daughter. It will score 1 full point on a 10 scale higher than it probably deserves.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm going to ask you the technical requirement, and then I'm going to ask you my personal question. So is this cross-gen?
No.
Okay, now the personal question. They're shipping The Last of Us in May and then Uncharted 5 in November?
Yep, 2 teams. They built a second team for this.
Okay.
The second team's on the multiplayer right now. The last.
Third team. They have 15 teams now.
That's why shit got delayed.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Naughty
fair.
Dog is a 2,500 person studio.
No, this is fair. I like this. What's your next launch title, Mr. Feel?
Well, the Uncharted 5 will cover the PS3 legacy, and Ape Escape covers the PS2 legacy. So they're going to want something to cover the PS2 legacy, because Ape Escape covers the PS1 legacy. I mean. So they will do a upgraded remake of the first Jack and Daxter, because they already did Ratchet and Clank.
I can see how this works, yeah.
And then the last game, which will stun the world, will be The Legend of Dragoon 2, and it will be announced in tandem with the upgraded visuals for The Legend of Dragoon 1.
Nice.
Wow. That's the last one I expect a sequel out of.
It's kind of leaked.
Right, but I would expect a remake, not a sequel. Because nobody remembers what happened in that game.
Well, yeah. That's why you put a subtitle
Dude, I
on it.
had a scrap launch title. I fucking had written here The Agent 2.
Old memes die hard. Well, that's fantastic. I guess I'll get my PS5 launch titles out of the way. Let me start with the strongest one. Genji 3 made by Platinum Games.
I have to cross mine off, okay.
It will be the
Stabbed
best
Bob.
Genji game. Did you actually write that
Yeah,
down?
I did.
It will be the best Genji game, and it will also be the first Platinum game to lock 60 on console. 60 frames per second.
Dan, will there be crabs?
There will be giant crabs, and they will make a trailer joke about it.
Oh man, I want to see Genji characters acting like Wonderful 101 characters.
He's gonna go to attack the giant crab, and he's gonna be upset because keep in mind this is Platinum, so it's a sassy main character, right?
Uh-huh.
We're doing that. He's looking at the giant crab, and he's like, "You're about to be a part of history. I'm gonna make you history," and then he'll blow him up. It's gonna be very smart and funny and well done because it's Platinum. My second title, of course, it was going to be Ape Escape. Bob crossing his off gives me the implication that we cannot have similar launch titles to each other.
If we, I guess. It'd be like that sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm excited to announce NBA 2K20.
That came out
Wait,
a couple weeks ago.
2K21.
Here's a slot machine launch title.
Dan, it could be a slightly different Ape Escape. You don't need to be like, as long as it's not a remake of the first one. It could
Oh yeah,
be
no,
anything.
I mean, I just figured doing Ape Escape as well would be kind of lame. But yeah, no, they're gonna do a brand new Ape Escape. It's not gonna be a remake of one. It's not, because they have their upgraded graphics thing, and if they came out with a brand new version of one, that would get really confusing with that sort of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna come out with the brand new Ape Escape. It's gonna be Ape Escape 2020. They're gonna start numbering them with years. It's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna follow.
They're not going
yearly
to make it an annual franchise.
they're gonna follow a new protagonist that looks exactly like Spike but isn't him. It's gonna be very cool.
Edge.
Well, since we're not looking for overlap, I'm gonna go with my insane one. My one where I will literally croak if this occurs.
Mm-hmm.
EverQuest 3.
Was EverQuest a Sony thing?
It was a Sony thing, and then they spun off that part of Sony into a separate company, but they're going to get back together because the PS5 has such strong power in it that they definitely want to get on the ground floor of a console MMORPG. We're ready to start doing that with EverQuest 3.
3.
Yes. EverQuest 3. It will still have... It will bring back the much lauded /pizza feature.
Yes!
So you can order
I fucking
pizza.
hate you so much.
Everybody look forward to /pizza on your PS5. Bob,
Okay, what's up?
I guess we need yours.
All right.
Sorry I stole Genji.
It's okay. I have some other gold here.
For some reason I didn't expect you to bring Genji. I didn't expect anyone to bring Genji made by Platinum, but was your Genji also going to be made by Platinum?
No,
or-
I just wrote down
okay.
Genji 3. It's okay.
okay,
I didn't.
okay.
I wasn't going to go the extra mile.
Gotcha.
So, the Marvel vs. Capcom series has kind of died down in the recent years. With the last game, like Infinite, we're going to see Capcom versus PlayStation.
Oh.
It's going to be like their traditional 3-on Street Fighter, but with Capcom and PlayStation characters.
Oh, I can't wait to do hyper combos with Fat Princess.
Look, PlayStation's really just the guys to be able to license any of the popular characters. If Cloud Strafe is in this game, they're insane.
So So the thing with a Fat Princess is she's a striker only, and when you call her in, she does the exact move the Juggernaut does in the Marvel games. So she just charges in and has a giant shockwave in front of her.
See,
I was assuming she'd just fall from immediately above them.
Deacon St. John versus Mr. X.
yes, definitely.
I need to see the victory animation for Deacon Days Gone right now.
You know how they always, like, the big thing about those versus games is, like, every move has one voice line, so you hear them repeatedly in combos.
Uh-huh.
I'm just imagining Deacon combo where he goes, my wife, over and over.
Oh my god. Fucking Knack does an infinite.
Yeah, Knack with the infinite.
Let's see. Killzone 5, subtitle Ray Tracing the Game. We need one game that really pushes ray tracing.
I agree. I think Sony's going to bring an exclusive and they're going to brag about ray tracing.
Yeah, and that would, I can't think of anyone better than Guerrilla. They could well have two teams over there. One working on New Horizon, one working on this.
That's true. They could have that.
I think they are. I think they've even mentioned like they have something else cooking up alongside Horizon 2.
I like the thought that Killzone only shows up at the beginning of a generation to show how powerful a console can be at launch and then just disappears.
Right? It's pretty appropriate, I feel.
Yeah. I think their sales numbers also reflect that.
Will there be any lies in the trailer this time?
No, we'll be safe. They might exaggerate some ray tracing a little bit, but it's not going to be insane.
Yeah, Shadowfall didn't really have any bullshit in it. The only thing anyone nailed Shadowfall for was for calling its multiplayer 1080p 60, when in fact, weirdly enough, that game renders interlaced, so it's 1080i, but then they use an internal video scaler to basically de-interlace the game on the fly. So it looked really weird. It actually made some people motion sick. Ba-doop boop. Oh, and they lost a class action lawsuit over it. Ba-doop boop.
Minor details. Okay, what's the final one? I have some good stuff here.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with something safe. This or the other two were not cross-gen. Those were just both PS5 only.
Oh, okay. None of mine are cross-gen. I forgot to mention that. Sorry, everyone.
Babylon's Fall, the new Square Enix / Platinum Games game, will be a launch title.
Oh.
And it will be cross-gen because they've already announced it for PS4.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like this actually lines up time-wise with when that was announced. It could well happen.
Yeah.
I'd be excited to see what they do. They didn't show it this whole year, and I feel like this is probably why. They want to be like, hey, we'll show it when it has PS5 graphics and it looks amazing.
Nice.
That seems very likely.
So that's our last launch title for PS5, right? I'm quite surprised that no one said Ghost of Tsushima, and no, it isn't cross-gen.
Dark.
That fucking happened with The Last Guardian. It could happen again.
It could.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot more about this than we ever did Last Guardian, though.
Okay, guys. That means we're moving on to Xbox 2 launch titles. We're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Feel.
Good.
So, Feel, you seem confident. Let me hear your launch titles.
Hey, let me back up from the mic a little bit. Minecraft 2!
What? Oh my god!
Oh my fuck off.
Is this the fucking HD pack, but finally just made into its own game?
They will make an entirely new game. They will be able to bake all their stupid fucking mod support and high graphics support and ray tracing fucking into it from the get. They don't have to try to staple it on. They never have. Nobody can ever mention Notch ever again because he has no part in this one. And they can actually start building shit into it. And Minecraft must be at almost 100%. Everyone who is ever going to buy this fucking game has it. Most of them probably on multiple devices. So it's time for Minecraft 2.
I feel like when he said Minecraft 2, we shifted into a weird armchair devs moment.
There's a little bit of that in here.
So that's bold. That is a really bold first one. Is Minecraft 2 cross-gen, Mr. Feel?
No, it is Xbox 2 exclusive for 1 year, and then they'll start putting it on other shit.
Oh, okay. Impressive. Do they still use cuboid voxels, or are we moving up to NURBS?
It's still gonna look basically cube shaped, but they'll cheat in places.
Oh, okay.
Like trees will have smaller ones to make them look more tree-like and
The
stuff.
trees are just speed tree. It's just fucking Skyrim trees.
God.
Next game, this one will also not be cross-gen. Fable 4. I feel like Microsoft has a relatively low amount of things that will like pierce mainstream consciousness as being like, hey, come get an Xbox and play this. And Fable 4 lets them make like a standard, here's our open world RPG that has graphics vaguely similar to Fortnite.
That sounds pretty promising, yeah. I think that's possible.
It's definitely been long enough.
And the last one, which will be cross-gen, is a Blinks the Cat revival.
Yeah!
Cat's got a good jacket.
Yeah, he does. That's great. I'm so excited for Blinks the Cat revival.
Are you?
Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't I be?
You're so full of shit, damn video game.
I am excited for every game that is announced.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about Blinks the Cat, so I can't get any more detailed.
Okay, that's fine. Hey Bob.
But he'll be there. He'll be there standing in the corner smoking a cigarette.
Hey Bob.
What's up?
Do you think they add like a Matrix-like effect to the time slow so you can see shockwaves move out from objects when you slow down time?
Oh, that'd be really good.
That'd be great. Do you think he gets a partner in this one and it's a Roomba?
I don't think so, but why not, man?
Well, he has a vacuum, you know?
That's true. He could go full on.
They could just give him a Roomba partner.
Oh, man, what if you ride the Roomba?
Yeah. And then it becomes a Segway.
It's good stuff.
This is good stuff. I like this. I'm excited for this Blinks the Cat revival. KZ just doesn't know he's excited yet. Well, I'll go ahead and start mine. Launch title, verified at launch, a Banjo-Kazooie game that is trying to be Tropical Freeze.
Oh, God.
As in 2D?
It is 2D gameplay. They thought of this years ago, and they've been working on it for at least 2.5 years, and they haven't announced it because it's an exclusive to next gen. The ukulele game that does that really threw a wrench in things. Microsoft's going to have a bit of egg on their face for this, but they're still going to own it. It is cross-gen. It's a cross-gen game, but it's going to look best on Xbox 2.
Oh, God, just imagine that playing a fucking 2D game.
You okay?
No, because I did the thing he said. Now, unfortunately, I don't get to announce what games aren't launch titles, like Halo Infinite, which will not make the date. That isn't a part of this segment.
It might not even come out.
Dan, it'll make the date. It just won't be done.
Yeah, I know that's a real
Yeah.
possibility, and it's a giant bummer. How unfortunate. But that's okay, because you know who's back?
Links?
Joanna Dark. With a third Perfect Dark game, baby.
Yeah. Amazing.
They're gonna try to make it seem really cool and domineering. This isn't like Zero, which was an origin story for her. This is going to be a reboot where she is a powerful female protagonist, and she will channel the energy of the most recent Bond in that it won't be laughable or fun. There won't be levity. She will just be strong, and she will be in charge.
Will they tie her to a chair and whip her with a rope like fucking Casino Royale?
Yes, in fact, they're going to strap her into a chair. The bottom's going to be cut out, and they're going to hit her in the balls.
She'll be strong.
She's going to have a wicked jawline. She's going to be Zarya, basically.
For some reason, I just imagined her looking like the main character of Oni. A Bungie fame.
The Bungie? Wow, she's just anime girl?
Yeah, for no reason.
Oh, wow.
It's bad.
Yeah, no, I'm going for Daniel Craig, so she needs to be built,
Okay.
and she needs to have a strong jawline, and she needs to be a badass, and they need to show her kill people in this trailer. That is what we're going with for the next Perfect Dark. That game is not cross-gen. That game will showcase the amazing graphics technology in the Xbox 2, just like Perfect Dark Zero did for the 360.
Correct.
Dan, stop.
The final launch title in my list of 3 for the Xbox 2 is a new Conquer. They will make a brand new Conquer game. It will try to be very funny. It will have a great trailer. It is not a remake.
Oh.
We are digging deep in the rare mines of IPs, and we are gonna get all those games being made by the best in class studios of the Microsoft first party. Ninja Theory is making the Conquer game.
Oh no! What? Repeat it for the people in the back.
Well, obviously, Ninja Theory is the best equipped to make the new Conquer game for the Xbox 2 launch.
Oh, no.
And now,
Dan video games.
look, I don't know
Dan
most.
video games. Dan
Sure, yeah,
Augustus video games. If this happens, I'm leaving. That's it. I'm retiring from
The
this
mortal
podcast.
coil. We're just going to hear a gunshot.
I don't even think Conker's that great at all.
It isn't. That's why Ninja Theory
But-
making a new one is nightmarish.
Look, if there's one thing anyone remembers from Heavenly Sword, it is the great comedic chops.
I'm gonna shit in your eyeballs.
Please don't. That'll give me pink eye. And that game will also not be cross-gen. Microsoft really wants to show off the power of the Xbox 2 because they need people to know that this is where you come to game. They're not going to mention input lag, but they're going to say that. They're going to say this is...
High-end Ninja Theory game.
Yeah, for Conquer, yeah.
You're right, indie AAA, I forgot.
And the best part is Conker's going to have a really fucking thick British accent. He's going to be shit-faced in the trailer, and he's like, "Oi, what are you looking at?"
Oi, porridge.
And that's how the live reaction video is going to go from KZ and Feel. Thank you for spoiling that with your premonitions. So we move on to Bob. Bob, tell me 3 Xbox 2 games.
Okay. This one's going to seem crazy, but follow me here.
Okay.
Microsoft has all 13 of the studios they've acquired making a different Halo game. They're all fighting it out to try and figure out who owns the IP now. Because 343 is no longer just the de facto.
Yeah. Okay.
Not all these games are going to make it out.
Okay. But they're all in development.
They're all in development.
Organization 13, but Halo.
Well, one that will make it out from launch is Halo Warthog Rumble.
Warthog Rumble? Bob, are you meaning to tell me Microsoft is working on a Twisted Metal knockoff based in the Halo universe right now?
Yes, it's being made by the guys who make Forza Horizon.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say they have Jaffe.
Oh my God!
According to Jaffe, he's working on a AAA game right now.
Oh my God, if they do. Oh my God.
I'm not ready. I feel sick. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I blacked out the second 13 studios working on Halo games.
It's on the back burner at most of them, but it's killing other ones.
Oh, good. Good. That's Microsoft's a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Double Fights Halo game!
I love that Double Fight doesn't get conquered. Ninja Theory does.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, Tim Schafer doing a Conquer game would make me put a bullet in my brain.
Tim Schafer presents Double Fine's Halo, and fucking Phil Spencer just goes, nah, pulls a lever, and just the floor falls out from under him, and he's dropped into the Forza mines.
Oh, I thought it was he pulls a lever and a Forza car falls on Tim Schafer.
Okay, so my other premonitions here.
Okay.
Cameo meets Banjo.
Fucking what?
Bob,
What's up?
now I got to ask you, is this a Banjo game that has a cameo by Cameo, or is this a Cameo game that features Banjo as a buddy?
This is a cameo game that features Banjo as a buddy.
Fucking what? Okay.
No.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
They know what the real gold is.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Of course, those last 2 games, those are Xbox 2 exclusives.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, Warhog Rumble might have like a, slightly just better features. Yeah, it's cross-gen for Warhog Rumble. That's definitely, they can do that.
Yeah.
This next one, though, this one's only on Xbox 2.
Only on Xbox 2. Xbox 2 world exclusive.
Crackdown 3 Remastered
Fucking come on!
I hate you. Hey, what are your launch titles? Poison.
I really didn't think it could get worse than Dan's Conquered by Ninja Theory. Good job, Bob. You fucking killed me.
What's your launch
Bob,
lineup?
I want to be like feeling aggro during Armchair Dev.
Combined, Feel and Aggro it's the fusion reborn of Feel and Aggro.
Jesus Christ.
I think those are the strongest titles they can launch with.
Croctown 3 remastered. It just uninstalls the game.
I don't even know what it would entail. Maybe the game's done. I don't know.
As we keep mentioning, something has to be mastered a first time to be remastered.
That's true. Okay. KZ, get us out of here. What are your 3 Xbox 2 launch titles?
All right. So this is exclusive to.
Wait, actually,
Xbox
we're going to roll
2?
back for a second. I know that's an unprecedented move. Bob, you said that one was not cross-gen? Wait,
No, but only the Xbox 2 can play Crackdown 3 remastered. It's that much more powerful, Dan.
Yeah.
Who's developing this remaster, Bob?
Gearbox.
And why is it Double Fine?
Oh God, I don't want to do that Double Fine. I mean, they've done plenty wrong, but Jesus, that's a fate worse than death.
Okay, sorry, Casey. I got whipped back when I had that realization of they didn't even launch the game on the platform. Fuck.
All right, Xbox 2 exclusive coming at launch. They're going to make a new Killer Instinct. It will be the same model as before. It is a free game where they will cycle in characters. The twist here is just like last time, where they get a third party to develop it. This is Killer Instinct developed by Capcom.
Oh.
However, they will butt in and say, no, but the netcode's going to be good, though. We're going to make you actually put a good netcode on this.
Well, that
and that will be a launch title.
You know, I've heard from some adamant members of the viewership that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite had great netcode. I've heard this. Have I verified it? No.
This is the thought of them porting something out to Capcom, and then Capcom just be like, "No, 18's going to make that. We're not going to make that. Come on."
Oh yeah, they're outsourcing it to Capcom, who's outsourcing it to the people who made Bloody Roar and Tatsunoko versus Capcom. 18. Jesus Christ.
I had a coin flip. Before I did this premonition, the coin flip was Capcom or NetherRealm, and it landed on Capcom. So that's
Why
what
aren't they just having Iron Galaxy make it?
Then it would
they
be
want
good.
A big, because Microsoft thinks if they get a big name like Capcom, the fighting game guys,
A big name that all fighting game players are mad at for the past 5 years?
Yeah, but you see the difference here is they don't care about fighting game players. They care about people who go, I know Capcom, they made Street Fighter. That's how this works.
Okay, it's stupid. That fits Microsoft's MO. It still stabbed me less than the past 20 minutes.
I, for one, am very excited for Perfect Dark 3!
No, it'd be Perfect Dark 2, because Perfect Dark 2 was Perfect Dark 0.
Well, it's the third Perfect Dark game. I don't want to put a number on it because they're not gonna either.
Perfect Dark 4.
Perfect darkness.
Perfectly dark.
Microsoft continuing to waste as much money as they can to own things that people may want. They are going to reveal that they bought the rights to this IP.
Okay.
So that they can reveal Jade Empire 2.
Oh, nice.
By Obsidian.
Very nice.
Okay,
that would be a splendid move.
That'd be fine. That'd be great.
That will be their big RPG push. BioWare loses the IP. Obsidian will yet again make a better sequel.
As God intended.
Mm-hmm. And that will not be cross-gen. None of mine will be cross-gen.
Man.
Because Microsoft's losing ground.
I think it's amazing that none of your launch titles are cross-gen, but they're the first company that came out and they're like, hey, not only will things be backwards compatible, these consoles can play games that are forwards compatible. They 3 years ago were talking about, you can make games for the Xbox 2 and it'll work on the Xbox One. And I was like, fuck you. That's not how that works.
That's fucking magic. They just said our console will be magic.
When Phil Spencer appears on the couch during the Giant Bomb E3 show, he will sweat a lot. because real questions will be asked and he will not be prepared for any of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Man, these are some great launch titles, gentlemen. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes.
Thank me for what, Genji, or
No, thank you for thanking.
thank you for thanking. Oh, okay. It was like I was the one who said
You too.
Conquer by Ninja Theory.
They deserve each other.
So, my last one, which will also be exclusive,
Mhm.
Viva Pinata 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's super safe. It's a well-enjoyed game. It's like the last well-loved Rare game that was like universally like, yeah, all right. No divisiveness here.
Who's if you were to guess, because obviously maybe your vision doesn't include this, but who's making it?
I was going to have it be done by Rare, who is slowly, not audibly saying it, but slowly shooting Sea of Thieves in the brain and saying, no, this is a horrible idea.
These are all very bold launch title predictions. I'm surprised no one had Sea of Thieves 2 or Sea of Thieves Definitive Edition for the Xbox, but I'm glad we got Killer Instinct in there. I actually was going to say that, but as an action game, not a fighting game. But then I had to get other things off my chest first. Conquer being handled by Ninja Theory.
I had Fusion Frenzy forever.
Oh man, that'd be pretty good.
It was gonna be a launch title that was broken at launch somehow, even though it's a minigame collection.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's the Action 52 of Xbox 2 launch title.
Nice.
Like, it was so broken that if you got a physical copy of it, you could jailbreak your Xbox 2.
Okay. So now we're moving on to hard drive size. Now, what people need to guess is tell us in advance with their premonitions, is how large the hard drives are on the premium model of these consoles, the best model of these consoles. And we're going to start with PS5. I'll go ahead and lead the charge. The PS5 will have, on the best quality model, a 2 terabyte SSD. Bob?
1 terabyte.
KZ?
1 terabyte.
And Mr. Feel?
1 terabyte.
Okay. Xbox 2. We're going to start with Bob. Bob, what is the hard drive size of the premium model of Xbox 2?
Also 1 terabyte.
KZ?
2 terabytes.
Mr. Feel?
2 terabytes.
And I'm also going to say 2 terabytes. Look at all that space. We're going to eat it up in 10 games with these 2 terabytes. Now we need to predict correctly how many SKUs or models of the Xbox 2 and PS5 there are at launch. We're going to start with the PS5, and KZ, you get to start. How many models?
14.
Mr.
Fuck
Feel,
you.
how many models are going to be at launch?
1.
I almost said Bob, but it's actually my turn. There's going to be 1 model of PS5 at launch. Bob?
2 models.
Okay. And now we're moving on to
You're not thinking it through, man. 14.
the Xbox 2. Mr. Feel, how many Xbox 2 hard drives? How many Xbox 2 hard drives are there? Wait 1 second. How many models are there, Mr. Feel?
2.
1. Bob?
4.
KZ?
1. Duh.
It just makes sense. Why would you want 2 models of the Xbox 2? You want 1 model of the 2 and 2 models of the 1.
This makes sense.
I mean, yeah. Well, the 14 on PS5 makes sense. 7 different colors, and then 7 other ones with a bigger hard drive for those colors. Like, I want the green one with 2 terabytes.
I'm really glad that
I want the
Sony's
red one with 1.
Sony's decades of retail experience has taught them to just murder all of their retail connections right now.
Yes. Just stab them in the chest.
Hey, not everything can be perfect on this launch.
There's no way they could possibly get multicolored RGBs in that console. That's nuts.
Tom Kalinske walked too close to Sony and they got brain damage.
Oh no.
You
Okay, now we're down to the hard stuff. What is the price of the PS5? And because of me cycling through this order, weirdly enough, I get to go first. That's bizarre. And this is of the cheapest model, just to be clear.
Yeah.
The cheapest model PS5 will be $400. Bob.
Yeah, I'm also going to say 400.
KZ.
500.
And Mr. Feel.
500.
And now we move to the Xbox 2. Bob gets to start this round. Bob, what is the price of the lowest end model of Xbox 2?
Also 400. They're going to meet him blow for blow this time.
Feel?
500, but it'll $600 memes will happen because there's going to be a higher one.
I'm going to say it's 500. And no $600 memes will happen because X-Bros use that to make fun of Sony fanboys. It doesn't... Why would they get made fun of? That doesn't make sense. You're crazy, Feel. And KZ.
$600.
For the cheapest one.
Yes.
$600 for the cheapest.
Soon.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He's got big plans.
I'm looking forward to these premonitions. Okay, and with that, we're finally done with the lightning rounds that lasted forever. The
lightning rounds that were longer than the PS5 section.
Yeah.
We are now ready for the Xbox 2 premonitions.
Oh, shit.
I'm very excited for this. We're going to go ahead and start with Bob. Bob, give us our first amazing Xbox 2 premonition of the night.
Okay, we need to figure out what this thing is called. I think it's going to be called the Xbox One 1000.
Is it a
there
rapper?
goes my first premonition.
What?
No fucking way.
Not 1000. My premonition was just, it will not be called the Xbox 2 because nothing can fucking be simple with Microsoft.
Well, damn. I guess I'm going to take the bold stance of saying it'll be called Xbox 2.
They will use the headline "Light Years Ahead."
Bob, what is this? The 1980s? We trying to sell a fucking Hewlett Packard PC here?
Yeah, unfortunately, they've gone back in time. It's terrible.
That's terrible. Okay, well, Bob.
They're including a printer.
Will it have a turbo button?
Yes.
KZ, one of my other things was it would have printer support. I have to cross that off now.
Way to go, KZ. You just ruined everything. But,
Zoe.
You should be. And you should make up for it by telling us your first premonition for the Xbox 2. Gonna come with a printer.
Yeah, I can't use my printer one now.
That's why it's $600. It has a printer.
Oh god, I don't know which one of these to pick first. All right. So, with this new Xbox, there's always a new piece of tech they really want to push for their stuff.
Yeah.
And this time, they're going to push voice commands incredibly hard, and they're going to call it 4K microphones.
Fuck you.
Inside every one of these Xboxes, which will be called the X. That is the name of the console, by the way.
Oh,
It is
okay.
the X.
Yeah.
There will be a 4K microphone that will give you basically perfect voice commands. They will work exactly as you want them to. However, it raises the price $100.
Okay.
That's why it will launch for $600.
Putting a 4K microphone in the box itself seems bold. I'm very interested in this 4K microphone technology.
It's like HD Rumble.
I get
4K
that.
microphone.
I get that. Feel. I'm going to need your first premonition.
Against all odds
Uh-oh.
and all common sense,
Uh-oh.
they will bring the fucking Kinect back.
No.
No, God.
way.
Not
What?
only will they bring the Kinect back, they will sell it in conjunction with their VR shit, and the idea of you using your body in conjunction with VR will be their fucking gimmick. People flailing around with a headset on being very dangerous will somehow slip through the cracks of the planning of this.
And the massive latency
I
that
said
comes from the
4K
Kinect.
microphones, and somehow I'm the sane one.
These are potent premonitions, my fellows. But unfortunately, I have a premonition, and it counters KZ's premonition.
Oh no.
Sometimes these things work out that way. Now, every fucking controller on the Xbox 2 is going to come with a microphone built in. There are multiple reasons for this. One, you can do voice commands through it. But two, in the truly cutting-edge feature of this, which I believe the PS5 will also have this feature, but the Xbox 2 is going to bring it to their launch event to talk about and hype it up. One of the things they want to revolutionize with the next-gen games is the immersiveness of audio. And we're going to try to take another swing at having better quality 3D audio for the next-gen consoles. The microphone in your controller can calibrate your sitting distance from your speakers and where they are in the room to better have it mix a stereo signal down to either 2 speakers or 5 speakers or 7 speakers. It will work like the Dolby Atmos technology, and it will make it sound more realistic for a 3D environment. Also, there are voice commands.
And that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Advancing tech.
I mean, it's a really interesting idea for the Atmos stuff, and it sounds like the 2 console manufacturers are getting some sort of audio layer support from AMD that'll allow similar things to be integrated, not the least of which is literally Dolby Atmos. But yeah, that ends our first round of premonitions. KZ, I'm going to need your second premonition.
Now, throughout the end of this generation, they have been really pushing something that they bought in the form of Mixer, their live streaming service. They've done their best to buy popular streamers to get in, but it's still not getting the attach rate they want.
Mm-hmm.
So they're announcing a Mixer game program where you'll be able to play some really hyped up brand new games exclusively on Mixer. And by that I mean you can only play them if you're live streaming them.
That is stupider than I ever could have imagined.
And the kicker, the first one where it's exclusive only to the Mixer, Halo Infinite. Only playable if you're live streaming Halo Infinite.
It's not DRM, it's better.
It's not DRM. It's better.
So it won't be cross-gen because this functionality won't be working on Xbox One.
Yes, it's going to be very hard on them because they're canceling Halo Infinite for Xbox One. It's only going to be on.
They
it's
should.
only going to be on the X.
They should cancel that version.
It's also not going to be on PC, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
This is bold.
PC will get it, though. Xbox One could stream it, though.
What does that mean?
With, like, xCloud.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple streams.
Sophia, I'm going to need your second premonition on the Xbox 2.
This I don't think is a long shot. I think this is pretty much 100%. Whatever Microsoft's loading solution is will be worse than Sony's.
So you think games will have longer load times on the Xbox 2?
Maybe not massively longer, but they will have noticeably longer load times on the Xbox. I mean, the Xbox 1000X.
Yes, that one. Okay. I will go ahead and couple one of my premonitions with that. Just adding on to yours, this isn't my turn. I think the Xbox 2 games will take longer to install, and literally no one will be able to explain why. Something will be critically wrong with that console, and it will just take much longer to install the same size of motherfucking games, and no one in the world can explain it.
What happened to machine learning helping?
It'll optimize the order of the data on the disk, Bob.
Uh-huh.
That won't keep the OS from being a tire fire.
Oh, no.
And making it take forever to write the game from the disk onto the fucking console.
Exciting.
Oh, yeah. Very exciting. I've been trying to keep these premonitions to be positive and ambitious. I've tried to not have any premonitions about policies, but I'm ready to make my first one. Game Pass will be required for backwards compatibility. It will be slid in a tiny note in a press conference, much like the PlayStation Live is now required for online play. You will have to have Game Pass to play 360 or Xbox original games.
It's like they've been doing so many feel-good moments and really nice things, and then they have to start pulling back a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, a company can't be too nice. They have to just fuck you somehow.
Sometimes.
It's like when Nintendo announced the Switch in that January thing, and they went, "We are making it region free. You don't have to worry about any of that. Also, you're gonna need Nintendo Online to be able to play online."
No, you can't have cloud saves on anything you'd want it on.
Of course not.
We delayed our online service by 1.5 years, so it was a really awkward transition. Suddenly, you had to pay.
Bob,
What's up?
give me your premonition.
Okay, here we go. Brace yourself.
I'm bracing.
The new Xbox menu
Uh-huh.
is now just the store. There's no playing.
Isn't it already?
I mean, kind of.
Bob,
But now it's just fully transformed. There's no split.
There's no way that isn't gonna happen.
Bob, you're telling me that I will not be able to ascertain whether or not I own a game, and it will just be in my face, and I click it, and then it's like, buy me?
Yeah, even when you put a disc in, it takes you to the store page, and then there's a play button there that you have to find.
I'm going to fucking saw my arms and legs off.
Bob, I have a question.
What's up?
Say I own a game on disc. Can I accidentally buy the digital version?
Definitely. I mean, what else would this be here for?
They install one-touch purchase just so you fuck up.
You also have to hit the X button to get a drop-down menu to play from the disc instead of buy this.
Yeah, there's you have to hit the special button on. It's like hold L2 and hit a Y button. That's how you boot the game if you instead of buying it.
Oh no. I bought Crackdown 3 Remastered twice.
Well, if you bought the original, you bought it 3 times.
This is actually
no.
counter to one of my own premonitions I wanted.
Oh.
I was like, I want this to be true, but this is the one that will obviously happen.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, my other one was, it won't require online to boot it the first time. Because that's some insane thing that Xbox One still requires.
Ew.
And KZ, I'm going to need your premonition.
All right, now I have a good short list of premonitions here. At first, I was like Red Ring of Death 2, but they can't let that happen. That seems a little bit too impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the X, which is the brand new Xbox's name, will feature the blades.
Nice.
That's it.
Everybody loves the blades. So it's just going to feature that? It's not going to be redesigned at all?
It will not be redesigned at all. You will use the blades.
It's still designed for 4x3.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's still designed by 4x3. And you will use them to access everything. However, when you go to the store, it'll then be the new Xbox experience for the 360. And then you have to buy the real store.
What?
This is getting bizarre. Okay.
This is getting as convoluted
What?
as an armchair devs pitch from Casey. Consoles as a service. It's a battle royale OS.
Well, all right,
where
all
are
right,
we
so,
dropping our games, boys?
you can your Xbox will floss on you while you sleep. Now, you see, in my mind, Xbox, aside from its dashboard right now, is doing everything right in the non-games category.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to add to it. So I just have to go in the other direction.
Okay. Well, it's funny. I actually had the same premonition, but mine was it's going to be an exceptionally modern-looking version of the blades that they're going to still leave in things to sort of give you the visual signifiers that it is the Blades OS design. So that way people get nostalgic, because nostalgia is going to be a huge part of what they're doing. That's why they're rating the rare IP mines. And I thought it was going to look exceptionally modern, but apparently it will just be the original.
It's kind of fucked up. It's like Xbox is really using nostalgia against the PlayStation. What do we got? The Blades from 2006. Ninja Theory Conquer.
Okay, and unless I'm mistaken, this is our final round of premonitions for the Xbox 2. And I get to start it. The Xbox 2 will require always online. When you stick a disc in, it will register a unique ID certificate for the game, but it will have a wholly integrated used game market into Microsoft's infrastructure. So you can sell these games if you don't want them to other users. Microsoft takes a cut. This is how Microsoft, between this and refund policy, this is how Microsoft will try to, one, actually execute on their plan from last year, by two, adding enough niceties to this, enough positives to this, where the game journalists last time who were way too positive about a fucking console that required always online will just be pushed all the way over the edge this time. And there's absolutely no reason someone wouldn't have internet good enough to do Xbox 2 in the year 2020. No one lives in a place where that's impossible.
It won't matter. It'll get the same response, if not worse, because they're bringing it back.
This is progressive. This is moving the medium forward. You need to understand. You need to be modern.
Yes, I look forward to the you didn't fail the Xbox 2. The Xbox 2 didn't fail, you failed the Xbox 2 articles. But
Yes.
I don't think general public perception is going to be different.
Oh, I didn't say it would be.
Yeah, I was like, I think they'd be absolutely insane to try this again. This killed them last time.
But Bob, they're going to make so much money on used games.
Just be them throwing themselves onto the sword.
It would. Like, that's too much.
Sure. You're right, guys. Microsoft would never do something that stupid.
God.
Timestamp this.
I know. Oh no, Dan. There's like, okay,
This is
I'm gonna
fucked
go
up.
lay
You're
in the
calling
middle
your
of this.
shot in a dark way.
Lay in the middle of this highway. Hope nobody runs me over. Someone needs to get in there, semi.
So that's my last premonition. Bob, what's your last premonition for the Xbox 2?
I wish I had more positive ones to counter this, but instead,
Dan just went grim dark, and now I have to go darker. Oh no!
after seeing the success of Fortnite, we will see the implementation of a battle pass mechanic into every single Xbox exclusive game.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. Even Crackdown remastered?
Yeah, of course. They'll have that new multiplayer mode in there, you know. You can
Well, yeah,
destroy
you have
everything.
to buy it, or else you don't get any of the improvements.
No, you just buy it to get encouragement to keep playing it.
I'm feeling ill.
You have to buy the battle pass to unlock the right to buy the game.
I'm just seeing how this plugs into Fable 4, and I don't feel so good.
Yeah, and it honestly kind of lines up with things they've said about the new Halo and how they're exploring new ways of monetizing.
Well, yeah, because Bob
Don't need new games if you feed your fucking customers into the juicer.
That's right.
I'm just saying here, Bob. Everything from Microsoft they see as games as a service going forward. They want live games, of course.
Of course.
Of course, Fable 4 will have a massive multiplayer element that you need the battle pass to get the most out of.
Uh-huh.
Shit, I thought I went dark. Fuck. KZ, save us. Give us something positive, please. What is your last premonition?
Okay. So,
Daisy laughs darkly.
so there's been a lot of stories with Xbox these past few years, them buying up studios, trying to get themselves an ultimate lineup. But there's also been this narrative where Phil goes to Japan and he goes there trying desperately and failing a lot to get Japanese games people want. So he's like, that's it. I'm buying a Japanese studio. So he gets up on that stage and announces that Microsoft now adding to the fold Idea Factory, the Japanese developer, to the Xbox family. And they'll be making big, exciting games for the platform.
That no one will ever buy.
Like Fable 4.
Oh my god. Anime girl Fable 4.
Well, of course, because their first title will, of course, be crossing over Neptunia and Fable.
Okay.
That doesn't seem very positive.
This is dark.
You know what? Feel somehow we left you with the final premonition on Xbox 2.
Okay. Dan's premonition will come true, and then they will get owned in court in Europe, and the courts will say, you cannot take a cut of these sales. And then Microsoft will stop promoting will stop having Xbox in Europe at all.
Whoa! Hope the China market works out for them. Jesus. Holy Jesus Christ.
They'll be like, look, you can sell these games through our thing. The courts will say you cannot take a cut. Otherwise, it's not real resale. And they will say, buy Europe.
Wow. This actually plays heavily into the secret final premonition, which we now have to confront.
Oh, no.
God,
Are you gentlemen ready for the hardest premonition of the night?
Here we go.
By the end of first year of being on sale, which console will win? Which console will sell more? That European market might be pretty important to this. Bob, I'm going to let you start.
I mean, I'm going to go with the safe bet and say Sony. They're currently in the lead. They show no sign of slowing.
You don't think you think the curse will finally be broken?
Yeah, I think the curse will finally be broken. Or Nintendo will just show up out of nowhere and be like, yeah, no, we somehow sold more Switches than either of you guys in the year you launched.
If the Nintendo Switch, I mean, honestly, they might, just because of supply problems.
That's true.
And there's a chance the Switch will reduce the price to a reasonable amount, because I think it's overpriced for what it is in 2019, let alone 2020. So you're going with Sony?
Yeah, I'm going with Sony.
Okay, we're locking that in. KZ.
I'm going to say Sony because Microsoft will leave the console business by the end of the first year.
Whoa!
Well, yeah, Bob, they lost the European market.
Yes, if we're operating upon that timeline. And combining other things like blades and 4x3.
Mr. Feel?
Sony. Microsoft is not going to have them beat in any department, so Sony.
You know, I honestly thought Microsoft might have beaten Sony, but then they went and they made online a mandatory requirement for the console, and they turned off a lot of people with that, and unfortunately they had to pull out of Europe. So yeah,
because of pride, I guess.
No, because their used game sales are illegal.
Instead of fixing that, they just run.
Apparently that's what's happening. I think Sony has too much cachet with back compat, and Microsoft will have a hard time countering that, even if they have the more powerful console, because quite frankly, by the time these consoles launch, most people will not own 4K TVs. And I think the amount of people who own a 4K TV that looks bad enough where the difference wouldn't even be that noticeable between power level is going to be pretty big too. So what I'm saying is, yes, Sony is going to win. Congratulations. Everyone thinks Sony is going to win. Someone out there is going to say we're fanboys.
That's bullshit.
When really, I don't think any of us...
Man, you guys are biased. I think this toddler can beat Mike Tyson.
Hey, this is really mean. Think of the pitch. How could Microsoft beat the PlayStation 5 when you go up there, spend $600 for it? It's a gigantic V with a pink LED, and you get to play Phantasy Star Online 3 with it. Can't beat that.
I look forward to reading the comments on this episode of Gamer Premonitions. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to this episode of Gamer Premonitions. This show, like our other podcasts, is only possible with the generous time our co-hosts have given to us and the equipment we've bought to make it higher quality and easier to produce. Please consider supporting our podcast series on our GigaBoots podcast Patreon, and look forward to more Gamer Premonitions and Big Think Dimension in the future. The executive producers of GigaBoots for the month of October are Vincent Boberg, Nicholas Cameron, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Danny Richardson, Dryzard, Red Blaze 27, Third Birthday Wen, and Cappy. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to support videos like this, then head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots and become an executive producer today.